Hi all, Wolf Lord Rho here. Okay guys, leave it to Games Workshop to turn my frown upside down after a tough few days with a major announcement that I was not expecting. Yes, we're getting a new Codex and we have a bunch of new vehicles and units to look at, but by far the biggest piece of news and my most hoped for, the love for the first founding legions is finally happening. Starting with the White Scars. Where on earth did this come from? I was not expecting this piece of news to come out of the blue, but boy am I happy about it. But with that said, let's just dive straight in. So first off, the new Space Marine Codex incoming for pre-orders next week. We knew it was going to come at some point, but I'll be honest, I did not expect it to be this quick. I really didn't. We may as well call this the Primaris Codex, as in the short blurb Games Workshop have given us, they're going in depth on the creation of the Primaris Marines and their involvement in the Indomitus Crusade. Which is about time really. Let's be honest, we've known since the release of these new Marines that this is the future of the Space Marines. This is the direction they're going, whether you like it or you don't. So it's about time they really started to flesh them out. And it's going to be interesting to see the Codex in general really. As with the Ultramarines being given their own Codex supplement, I'm very curious to see what chapters are focused on in the standard Codex. Normally the Codex is basically Ultramarines are us. So I think with the new Indomitus chapters, they could be featured very heavily in this edition. I could be wrong, but it wouldn't surprise me. On to the accompanying miniatures releases, and no surprise, the Vanguard units we saw from the Shadow Spear box have finally arrived on their own, with the Infiltrators as expected. Not personally my cup of tea unless we're talking Raven Guard, then definitely a full force of the Vanguard units suits them down to a T, but stealth style units jumping around in, I don't know, bright blue, ultramarine blue or Imperial Fist yellow just doesn't quite work for me. Snipers, yes, but the actual infiltrator units, no, it's not they're just not singing to me quite yet. We have a fairly cool Vanguard Lieutenant to accompany them too, and the Invicta Tactical Warsuit. Reminds me very much of the walkers out of the Avatar or Aliens movie. Now this is not as hardcore as a Dreadnought, not used for frontline battle, obviously due to the open hatch at the front, making the pilot clearly visible, but something more akin to say the Imperial Guard Sentinels, a little more light support for your scouts and your infiltrators. And we are also treated to the Primaris replacement for the long-serving Rhino transport, the Impulsor. Looks like a cross between a hovering Rhino and a Razorback. I get the hovering vibe they're going for now, much more futuristic. However, personally, I love the tracks of the old Rhinos and Razorback, just thundering their way across a battlefield. I'm not too sure how I feel about these new, very narrow machine gun barrels either. You know, give me my classic heavy bolters or las cannons. So hopefully there's a little bit of customization available in these boxes like normal. Right, now on to the main event, the big stuff. First up, our new Primaris upgrade, Chief Librarian Tigurius of the Ultramarines. Now I'll admit I was very surprised that this is the next upgraded character they've gone for. To think he's been upgraded before the likes of Dante, Blackmane, Grimnar, Azrael, it's a bit of a kick to the teeth. However, assuming we are going to get a Primaris upgrade with each Codex supplement, the boys in blue needed one this time around, then Tigurius fits the bill as a major player for the Ultramarines, especially seeing as Calgar has already been done. Although Cato Sicarius may have something to say about that. Or even something a little different, why not a Uriel Ventris? Wouldn't it have been something to get a Ventress model after all this time? But let's make no bones about it, Tigurius looks absolutely awesome here, he really does. This is a great upgrade. It really is. Just look at the pose of the model, the power, the way he's just got the expression on his face, especially the detail on his face. Just look at that. This is an awesome looking model. It really is. And the main event, as I was talking about, the White Scars. Oh, yes. You may remember I did a video a little while back asking for some much needed love to the founding legions when we first saw the Primaris Iron Hands character that was leaked. Although he still hasn't arrived yet, so we know he'll be coming when the Iron Hands Codex comes out. And obviously, Games Workshop have been watching the channel, so thank me later, lads. It looks like we are finally getting that love for the first founding legions. And here we have a new Khosrow Khan model, and boy does it look good. To be honest, I'd be happy with any model if it was for one of the other unsung founding chapters, but it helps that this is just a great model. I mean, look at the decapitated head in his hand. You do not mess with the White Scars. If there is one thing we have learnt from Jagatai Khan in the Horus Heresy series, you do not mess with the White Scars. And oh man, I have to start a little force of White Scars now. Not something my wallet needed at the moment. It really didn't. But how can you say no to this? This is finally the love that we needed to happen. And of course, accompanying him, we finally get the chapter upgrade sprue. And man, does this look good. I'm loving that curved chainsaw blade and the arm with the heads. Just absolutely awesome. I could not be more happy with this release. I really couldn't. Do I want to have to pay for all of the Codex supplements for all the chapters? No, of course not. I'd love it to all be in the main Codex. However, if this is what I've got to do to get some love for the Salamanders, for the White Scars, for the Iron Hands, well then this is what I'm going to do. I will pay through the teeth if this is what I have to do to get some love for the sons of Vulcan, the sons of Ferrus Manus. This has been something needed for oh so long, and Games Workshop have finally listened. Kudos to you, GW, because this is a really smart move. We have already seen the Iron Hands Primaris character before, so it's safe to assume Iron Hands will be on the list very soon. And should be accompanied by an upgrade sprue too. Next up, maybe Salamanders, Raven Guard, Imperial Fists. Then are we going to get second founding chapters such as the Black Templars? What about Crimson Fists? Will they miss out due to the Index Astartes article we got in White Dwarf? Man, if there's no Pedro Cantor upgrade because of the White Dwarf articles already covered that ground, oh, then that is a kick in the nuts to any Crimson Fist players. But then what of the non-Codex chapters such as Blood Angels, Space Wolves and Dark Angels? All long overdue some Primaris upgrades. Look, we know I love my wolves, but by the Emperor himself, if Games Workshop doesn't give me this Dante Primaris upgrade, then I don't know what I'm going to do if that doesn't come soon. Just do it, GW. Just do it. But oh man, I am pumped, as you may guess, for the future that we may be getting for the founding legions and chapters, finally getting the love they deserve. How on earth I am going to afford this, I really don't know. But how can you resist starting, say, a Salamander's army when they finally get that Codex, the upgrade sprue they've been waiting for? An upgraded character, the sons of Vulcan. Vulcan lives. But what do you guys think of this news? Are you happy, angry, surprised to see the White Scars get some love first? Or just surprised in general that Games Workshop's finally doing something like this? As always, drop your comments below with your thoughts. I love to read them. Don't worry, there'll be a lore video back tomorrow. And oh, before I go, I've been thinking lately about doing a weekly special like we had before on Lionel Johnson. If only I could decide who to do it on.